let's give it a few minutes until everyone logs on. We're going to do some charts. We're going to do some live trading, and I'm going to update you. It's been a while, I think, since Dubai, maybe a couple of weeks, but getting back into the groove and showing you guys what I've got. So, all right, without further ado, tell your friends, gather everyone. If you happen to catch me, welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm Hernan. I trade crypto since 2017, and I am also a crypto investor. I'm a founder. I'm a builder. I'm an entrepreneur, technical product manager as well. So yeah, wear a lot of hats. Father of two, husband. Uh, all sorts of cool stuff. So welcome to our stream. Thank you for joining us. And let's see it. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna erase all these weird drawings that you see and all indicators. I'll tell you one by one what I'm using as usual. Drive you by the way, and we will do a very quick uh, zoom in into the charts. Okay, that's the way I like to approach it. We look at the big picture, then we go deep down into the details until the execution of the trades. So we want to do a very simple analysis. I painted my chart blue and white, as inspired by H3rnan. Just go take a look at his stuff, because I think that green and red influences our thoughts on if this is like going up or going down, because it also has a direct link to our like P&L. So we like seeing green, we don't like seeing red, and when we analyze the charts, we want to try to be as objective as possible, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to look at last week's high, which was 111.40, and we're going to mark last week's low, which is 102. Do I think it's going to come back there? No, I don't think so. First of all, guys, I think I'm not stating the obvious, but we are in a clear uptrend ever since pretty much since January of last year. But particularly on the weekly, we can see that ever since end of April, all this month has been super bullish, and we're already closing a week above all-time high, which means we're all-time high territory. Price discovery, entering price discovery. So there's nothing on this chart saying bearish, okay? Nothing, or break of structure, anything on the long term. But we're not trading the long term. We want to trade today, right? And that is where the trick is, because it's very easy to just have a very long-term view and say, well, Bitcoin crypto's gone up. I went all in around the lows, and now I'm just making YouTube videos and pumping the coins that I like. So that's quite easy in terms of like live trading. It's less so when we are trying to say what is the next immediate move, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to analyze, we're going to mark last days. Now we're in the daily. We're going to make last day's high and last day's low, which is going to give us a clue on where will the chart want to go and trend to, right? Now, of course, this was forming a low. This did form a low around here, exactly where this hyper liquid trader had his liquidation point, which I think it didn't reach, or it did reach. So those are main key levels, right? Yesterday's high and low. This was Sunday's low. Now, yesterday, most of the trading platforms were closed. We have an indicator for the show from Lux Algo called Sessions. I use it when I'm entering the lower time frames to see where the sessions are at. Sydney, London, not yet, but when we enter the hourly, you'll see what it plays out. The first indicator we're going to open up is the 50 EMA. So this is pretty obvious. on the 12 hour because as long as we're above the 50 EMA, we're bullish. As long as we're low, well, we're bearish. But it comes very, very, very helpful when we can see this on the 15-minute, right? Because we see that, oh, okay, we're making now a higher high, but we're coming into resistance. So obviously the best place long was not over here but was over here at the SFP, right? Because this, you don't know if this is going to break down and how low it's going to be. You want to wait for this to try to make a bounce and see that it's failing to make a low. And not even here you'd enter once you see that, okay, there's buyers stepping in and they're not allowing this to go through. This would be the great place to enter. Now we missed that window. So what the question is for today, what is the next big step, right? So are we going to break this kind of yesterday's high and start creeping up to all-time high again, or is this resistance going to work? Because although everything's bullish, guys, remember that, let's go a bit into the 4 hour. Remember that this is also due for a correction. Like when the corrections come, it's going to be fast, it's going to be violent. And even though it's not going to, I don't think it's going to break the long time structure, it's going to feel like chaos. It's going to feel scary. But the question is, if this is this a candidate for sort of a local double top over here? Let's do some painting. So you could argue, okay, we're doing some kind of a, oh, pardon my ugly drawings. We're doing here some kind of a double top here. So maybe if this doesn't get above, you could argue that, hey, maybe we are, this double top is the beginning of a wider correction, right? But at the same time, this is happening right above like all-time high. So you have to put context whenever you're trying to analyze what's going on, so you're just falling. Like the high time frame is still the main thing. Although we've had higher higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This is a higher high. The question is, where is going to be the higher low? Is it going to be this one, or is it going to be a lower low, lower than this? And for this, it's sometimes it's useful to connect some trend lines. I'm not always using those because those have gotten me wrecked, but you can clearly see that this is right now acting as support. You see, this started acting as support, then we found another support here around 102, and now we found another support here around 168. This is the latest. So on the 4 hour, yes, we're coming up, but is this the one that's going to break? Well, we don't know. Let's go now into the 1 hour. So now, right now, we're in the middle of a range, which would make me hesitant to just jump into a trade. I would rather see it. Okay, we're starting to break this 110 fifth to the upside, or this retest over this candle. That would be a great position for long. Right now, we're kind of in the middle, and it's trying to break out. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing that it's going to break out. So what I want to look at right now is at the Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is clearly trying to break down, and this is already starting to form a very convincing double top, right? So what you can see here, and I don't want to have a very clear wedge there, so I don't want to erase all my. I don't want to erase the wedge because that has been driving me all through this cycle. But I am going to clear out some noise here on the chart. Let me just clear these levels. Yeah. This for me, I think it's a very strong candidate for a top on Bitcoin dominance for this cycle. this 65% level, because um, what we're trying to form here is CNC is this is already forming a lower high, and then what the ideal scenario for us would be for this to break down this huge rising wedge, which has been active ever since Bitcoin started running, and I think even before. So you can go back even to see why don't want to erase this wedge. It's been in place since late 2 years in 2 years, right? So this has been working on. This is the very fast AI agent slash meme coin trend, and what we want to do is a real alt season. We haven't seen it in 2 years, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Even a drop from here to here on Bitcoin dominance is going to bring massive capital to all the altcoins. So we're going to see if this is going to play out, and this is our candidate. Then what we want to see is this to start break on the lower time frames. You see, we're already starting to see it up below the 50 MA. And then what we want to do is we want to start looking at altcoins. Now the ETH BTC pair is clearly breaking out, and for today, I think that's already properly running. The best place to have gotten ETH was right here in this breakout and retest 1 hour ago, and now this is already starting to run. Is this run away already? I don't know, but clearly, my leaning for today is bullish, right? ETH BTC is breaking up. Bitcoin is not showing signs that it's already weakened. So my bias for today is bullish. Now, what do I do when I want to trade and I have a bullish bias? I want to find a better spot. By the way, this account is already a certified. I got that last week. Yesterday was a very volatile day, so I did not do good. I got like stopped out and tried and decided to leave it for today for you guys. Or not for you guys. It's always remember that I am doing this both for educating, trying to bring value, but also this is for me to outspeak my own analysis and have when I'm speaking this out loud and I know that I'm out here in the internet, it helps me not to rush into trades and to try to understand the logic that goes behind the decisions that I'm making. So that if I'm hearing myself and I sound a bit off, then we might want to double check that. Okay, so I think we have a good opportunity here for a trade. What am I looking at for Bitcoin? Bitcoin seems to be breaking out of this range, but this is not yet a full breakout. On the 5 minute it is, but not on the hourly. See? So on the hourly, let's switch this to the hour. Here, I'm on breakout prop, guys. Shout out to the prop firm. It's very good. They have a very different web-based platform than most other prop firms that force you to go to this horrible MTS, outdated Windows 95 platform. And you can see that we're almost running up also to resistance in the hour. So what we would like to see is we want to see this work, hold as a local low, and we want to try to get a good spot to rush in here. Sorry, to enter in without rushing in. So we're trying to get a good correction here. We're gonna see if this is a legit breakout and continuation. If so, what do we do? And here's my trick. I prepare here my list, and I look for one or two things. If we are going to break out, we're going to see one or two things. We're going to see either the graphs that are beaten down but are recovering, like I see graphs here, and can give us an opportunity to entry, because some of these that are already have already broken out, like C virtual, where what we would be doing here is we would be chasing this huge green candle. And we don't want to do that, guys, because the volatility here can be massive. So even though virtual is very bullish and marked it, look at this. This I marked this before and it served exactly as resistance. So the ideal point to enter was right here on the level that I marked a few days ago. And this is probably going to go parabolic. But that also means that it's very hard to trade it on a daily basis, because let's say you enter here. What's going to be your invalidation point down here? Well, it's already massive. You have to have a very small position. So we want to find those that have not yet broken out, but are a strong candidate to break out. Let's see, for example, Pendle. Pendle's already doing a very strong uptrend, but hasn't yet broken this resistance. So that would be a good candidate. We want to see also strong coins that are like maybe sometimes when they're like about to break out, right? Okay, we see A16Z doing a good steady uptrend, but they're all also running into this kind of resistance. So I want to see how they react there, right? And if we can get a breakout here. Kaito has been pretty strong lately. Good. Okay. So now we want to see if we can get a token that is about to break out but hasn't done so yet very clearly. That is going to be my strategy for today. That is assuming that Bitcoin will hold this breakout point. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for Bitcoin to retest this three candles. We do see a fair value gap right around here. For that, we can use the Lux Algo color coins, which allows us to point out fair value gaps. We just started the London session 1 hour ago. Remember, London it's more of a smooth trading, which is easier for me to spot the trends. And then we'll just hide this and try to see where bearish. You see, this broke down yesterday and marked a bearish order block around here on the short term. But as well, this was a very, very strong bullish order block. So we're kind of in a sandwich now on Bitcoin. So so what we do is we zoom it out a bit and we try to see where the hourly order block is. Do we have a bearish order block on the hourly? No. And so we're still leaning towards the bullish side. Just hesitant because we're not getting it into in a good strategic point. This was the strategic point to get in on, say 1 hour ago. You see, this retest, that would be your entry point. And so now we're gonna see the next best point, which is not around here. It's around here. So we still want to wait for that pullback. Where would that pullback be? Around here. So we want to see if we get a $500 correction on BTC, which would bring us around here. Now this is an arbitrary level. It's not this, but this would be our buy point. Now, if it goes away, then well, it'll go away, and we'll go for longer, uh, better entry point on on a different session. So now we want to see if we can spot some trends that might be breaking out. Let's see. So you see here, we're going to find BTC, which is 0.3% up. And as you can see, guys, this is starting to break out. All right. So we what we want to do is we want to focus on the ones that are above BTC, or meaning they are trying to outperform. So CRV is a good option. This has a probably a good setup because it hasn't taken off. The other one that has a good setup, I think, is SUI because it was really battered down through the whole hack dilemma and the whole thing. And I think that news is already going to dry out. I made a good trade here shorting Sui, by the way, last week. And you can see it here. I know that was this trend. But now I think we are going to recover this part. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter a long here on Sui, and probably, yeah, let's see what is the best setup here. Sui. Mhm. Strong coin going to recover. No, we might yet see this act as resistance. So I'm not gonna touch on that. Solana's looking like, yeah, Solana's looking strong as well. Yeah, definitely a bullish bias here, guys. But we're also running into this type of resistance. We're gonna see how we react here. You see, this drop is ruined my yesterday's trading day. You have to be cautious there, and that's why we don't want to chase the green candles. Mhm. Okay, so Sui is going to be a good candidate for us for today. You see, these three candles are good for a potential entry. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set our entry point here. Remember, guys, we're gonna risk only 1 to 1.5% of the account. So where we want to get to is at this little breakout, which is 4905, let's say, so that we do get a fill. And our protection order is then around 4035, which is below this low. Now you see that this makes a project losses 200, so we have to come here and decrease our position size until it fits our criteria. So yes, you see, $130. Okay, I can deal with that. Let's try that one. So this is going to be our first order for today. We see that it's coming near. It's approaching our sell point. Let's see if we get it in. Let's okay, just a bit down. Come on. On a lower time frame, we can go to the 5 minute and see that if we're not getting filled, we're gonna try to maybe we can try to chase this a bit according to Bitcoin's action, but we see that Bitcoin's it's not it's not quite it's still trying to it's not breaking out right now. So I do think we have a chance to get Sui at this level. Let's see if we come down here. You see, this is some selling action, which gives me a good gouge that we might see the pullback until here. So okay, let's not chase this one for now. Let's hope that this does get my entry. Remember, it's not a perfect entry, guys. Is the best entry would be 1 hour ago. okay, when it was trying to break this one out. And now let's take a look at the other one that I was interested in, which is CRV. Okay, so CRV is not yet broken out of this range, but it's trying to. So this is a very interesting point for me. I'm going to enter right here, and yeah, you see how it's breaking out? This may move very fast, guys. So my stop loss here will be below this entry point, which is the okay. So this is, if this is breaking out right now, I'll allow myself to do a market order here, and then we're going to adjust our profit, our to here ideally 7486. Okay, so let's see what is our risk level here. Yeah, okay, it's less than 200 bucks, should be okay. So this is going to be our stop loss. And for SUI, let's go back to SUI and see if we're okay. Doesn't seem to be breaking out. So I'm gonna chase it a bit, guys. It's not best practice. Always try to let the orders come to you as much as you can. But when I'm seeing this heightened price action, you see Bitcoin recovering already. If Bitcoin dominance, you see, it's starting to break out. So we do have to make sure our orders are in place. Ethereum is already also breaking out. So I do see this as super bullish, guys. We should definitely start ramping up our efforts. So what I'm gonna do on Sui is I'm gonna increase a bit my entry here, still under level, and then we're going to until it goes right here. Yeah, try to get it here, running away a bit. Okay, gonna enter here on Sui, change it to a market order. It's not the best, guys. Market orders are actually, I'm gonna do a limit at this price. Mm-hmm. And hope we get it in around 55. Let's see, order rejected. Okay. So now this strategy, guys, really only works when we are pretty much in a raging bull market. I'll tell you why. What we're doing here on the shorter time frame is really buying into resistance. And usually this strategy will get you wrecked on a chopping, ranging bear market because you sell into resistance, you buy into support. But what we're doing right now is we are betting on the coins breaking this resistance on the shorter term. You see it's starting to break. And our hopes is that it attempts to break a higher resistance. What we need to do for the day, and this is the most important part of the trading journey, guys, is to be directionally right. If we're directionally right, we can handle some pullbacks and we'll be down a bit, but we'll be able to cash in some profits. So I'm going to have to reduce the stop loss to this 34 area. No, sorry, 3.45. No, I would like to see this 4-3 area. Look it intact. $150. Okay. So route below this low, it's going to be our stop loss. So our real hopes is that this does not come back to retest this support, right? As long as we do see that, we're good. Now, if we zoom out, why is this giving me good vibes? Because first of all, we are seeing buyers coming here and here. This could constitute on the hourly a swing failure pattern to the downside, right? We try to break here, we try to break here, we're not managing to break here. So I would expect this to fight it now to the upside and try to start recovering some levels from before the hack and also before the breakdown. It's pretty technical. So he has maintained good levels even though with the hack. So that's very positive because it means that they're good market making and they have not broken their long-term structure here. So this is the breakout point on uh, on the daily. All right, it was the 8th of May, so this is like after the first week of the month, and now we're coming back to retest it. This is also a bit of confirmation that this can work as very strong support. And that's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on this holding as support, this really line. If not, I'm gonna be wrong over here. Okay, so let's see what curve is now doing. Now curve is very strong on the long term. Just gotta see if this is going to change from a consolidation part to a next leg up. Next leg up on CRV could be massive, right? Because we have a very strong uptrend. You see, very strong uptrend. And our hopes are that our bet is that this will serve as a no, not this. Sorry. The trading tool here is not as sharp as trading view, but is still good. Good good place to gouge. So you see this one here. This would serve like as a very low type of candle, but the one that is steadier, right? The trend line that will be steadier is this one. And I don't usually use trend line, guys, but sometimes it helps us to gouge some entries. So this is another one that's trying to be hold. And our theory is that okay, maybe this recent low serves as this support, and we're going to attempt to break this resistance again. If we do start to break this resistance over here, 80.83, then we can expect a very aggressive move upwards on curve. And those are going to be my two trades for today. Guys, I also want to remind you that this is very dynamic, right? So if this is starting to reject very soon, I will reevaluate. And also because the take profits here need to be manual, you're gonna also have to take that into consideration. But it looks pretty bullish. Looks like it held this line, and so it's looking pretty bullish to me. There's a chance that we might see new all-time highs this week or today, and I would say the most interesting coin to watch for the week is Ethereum. This is the ETH BTC chart. All right. So we've all been waiting at Ethereum. It's the most hated coin. I'm not trading it right now because it's like super volatile, but it's trying to lead the charge now. You see that it's being super strong here. This weeks are the ones that are pretty tough to handle. But if you can manage this volatility, 2,500 was like probably the best spot, and now it's trying to break out. So we shall see. All right, guys. So these are the trades running in slight profit. I hope they keep going up. We're bullish for the day, bullish for the coming few weeks and months, until we start seeing signs of weakness or cracks in the system. Right now, we're entering price discovery for Bitcoin 109. There's no technical signs to be bearish, guys. We're all-time highs, steady uptrend. If we start seeing a lot of volume coming here, we are going to see a next leg up. But we're also due for a very intense pullback. I don't know where it's gonna come, but remember this pullback side. When this thing happens, it comes out of nowhere, and you think it's just consolidating, and then it just break down, and within 2 hours you're already 10-20% down on Bitcoin. So all your altcoins go berserk. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it here. These are my trades. I'm long Sui and I'm long Curve. Ethereum's looking very strong. I'm just banking on those that haven't yet start their run, so that I maybe so that their pullbacks will also be a bit more shallow, right? So if we pull back here, I would hope that it does this holds as a retest level and not all the way back here. Same goes for Sui, right? My theory is not okay. This is going to go up the most. It's just I'm seeing that the risk reward pattern here is still something that I can latch onto and not be and not be chasing these candles so much, right? Which if you see, for example, in the example I gave you in virtual, like virtual is running, guys. Like if you want to do a alternative run, whenever virtual runs, their ecosystem runs. So we want to also look at AIXBT to see if there's an opportunity there, because AIXBT is only right now breaking the trend. So we could say, okay, I am also gonna run long on AXBT. So this is our last entry. Uh, and yeah, so this is right now breaking out. So if virtuals does run, you would expect that their agents running on TUI, on virtuals like AXBT. I'm also on a spot trade on Vader, which you see it's has this very interesting ascending wedge, and which is breaking out right now. So I like Vader a lot because it has a clear utility for the token, which is like giving out airdrops and part of the distribution of many agents that are coming onto virtuals, versus AXBT, which is much more playing in the attention. Yes, is the leading agent on virtuals, but it's based on analysis and trading alpha and attention, and the token itself is not that of a strong selling point. So take a look at Vader. I'm in a spot position here. I like it very much. Let's see if our order on AXBT came in. Okay, it's about to. Let's see. We're 4 pips away from it to give us an entry. Let's see. It's a bit more of a risky trade, but we are going to try to find their entry here. The important thing here is to be directionally right, guys. You're never you're gonna catch the exact point, right? But we want to be directionally right. The best point to enter again was like 1 hour ago, but we can still find opportunities here, which is what you're here for. All right. So we've been streaming for almost 40 minutes. Guys, if you're watching me, let's see how the platforms and where the stream is popular here. Okay, I see some people joining in on Twitch. All right, I'm gonna get out my Twitch game for sure, guys. And for anyone who's watching this on the replay, just make sure you follow me on Twitter on Hernan Arber and LinkedIn. And if you're also building in Web3, we can help with quantum consulting. And yeah, let's have a very successful trading day for today. Right, guys? This is going to be it. Thank you for joining me and see you soon. Have a great rest of your week.